Et bonsoir à tous, c'est parti du coup pour la suite de mon walkthrough de Pillar of the Earth, les piliers de la Terre, livre 3. Donc voilà, tac, alors donc on s'est arrêté au chapitre 3, donc chapitre en tout 17, voilà. Tac, attends, je vais quand même couper le son de mon PC parce que là ouais, j'ai le retour son, c'est pas bon, tac, on coupe ça. Voilà, donc on est en pleine tempête. On va essayer de trouver en fait la solution pour essayer de colmater les brèches dans le mur de la cathédrale en tant que Jack. Voilà, voilà. Hop, alors ça c'est good, voilà. Alors donc, des semaines que ça dure, le bruit et le sable ne s'arrêtent jamais. J'espère qu'Aliana va bien. Ouais, tu m'étonnes.
One day, people will fly, like birds, sailing on the wind. Rashid told me.
Sure. Until then, stay away from the edge.
Il a raison.
No, I don't want to break more stones loose. The storm makes it worse, but I don't... That won't help. Now's not the time. First, I need to...
La voûte elle est quand même bien effritée déjà.
Over here, the vaulting looks weak.
If the vaulting was unstable, it could pull the wall inward and damage it. Especially with this storm putting pressure on the wall from the outside.
We have to find out.
How?
If I widen these cracks, we'll see if our problem gets worse or not.
I don't like the sound of that.
C'est dangereux comme idée, hein. C'est un peu stupide, je trouve.
But I'll have to fix it either way.
Bon,
If I make
allez.
it worse, then we'll at least know what...
You're probably right.
Oh putain, j'ai encore le
Be easier
QTE.
without the sand everywhere.
Right.
Et j'ai la barre de stream en plein sur le QTE.
Damn. You all right?
Oh putain.
It seems
Je vois
I'm
rien.
getting old.
I know how that feels.
Oh, again. What's wrong with me today?
C'est un truc de fou.
Take
Putain,
your
cette barre de
time.
stream, je la maudis, je la
I'm not in a
maudis.
hurry.
Je la hais. Putain, c'est un truc de fou. Et je vois rien, je vois rien. J'ai la barre de Twitch qui est pile sur la barre de QTE, donc je ne vois absolument rien. Je vois juste la boule quand elle est à les extrémités de la barre. Putain de merde, c'est pas possible. Ah ah, je l'ai eu. Au pif. What, encore? Ah, je vois, d'accord, il y en a 3 à faire, ok. Je vois sur le retour du stream.
Right.
C'est pas
One
normal.
more time.
Faudrait pouvoir la virer cette barre. Ah, là je vois les extrémités, c'est bon.
And? What happened?
If the vaulting
Suspicion
were
encore plus.
unstable, this part should have collapsed and the wall would retract.
So, the cause of our problem is not up here.
Ah non, c'est pas ça alors.
When we erected the eastern wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. No matter what we
Ça vient
did,
du
it
sol, alors.
always came back. Remember?
Mais ouais, ça vient du sol.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it.
Still,
C'est le sol.
could the cause not have been the same in both cases?
C'est le sol.
Maybe.
Le sol. Voilà.
The ground is the same.
But it's
Eh
never
oui.
been that dry.
We had no problem with the rest of the walls.
Well, that's true. But there must be something else.
Oui, mais si il y a avec les catacombes ou je sais pas, ça peut jouer. Et ça peut jouer beaucoup, ça. Genre s'il y a un sol qui est plus affaibli qu'un autre parce il est creusé pour les catacombes ou je ne sais quoi. Peut-être que ça peut être dû à du coup peut-être à ça, je sais pas. Allez, on va tester la crypte. C'est en souterrain aussi, donc ouais.
Huh. How kept the whole foundation there as it was?
But it never had
Si on
to
solidifie les
carry this much
fondations
weight
de
before.
la crypte, c'est bon.
You're right. If the cause of our problem is down there, we'll find it. You go ahead.
Don't you need help?
I'll manage. Just don't tell your mother.
Are you sure?
Go on. I know you can't wait to get down there.
Neither can you. I'll just take a quick look and wait for you.
They were enraged.
Oh oui.
Bishop
J'entends, il a grandi de ouf. Waouh.
about what you wrote.
I think so too.
Et Philippe, il a vieilli.
I would be honored if he read my book.
Philip, I really am worried about you.
There is no need for you to worry, Jonathan. It is just a book.
The problem is that the people love your sermons and what you wrote, even though most of them can't read. Your book is being copied in priories all over England.
Ah ouais, donc son livre est connu maintenant.
Thing, if our message gives people hope.
In desperate times, hope can be a powerful force.
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Huh? Do you?
Le deuxième livre de Philippe. Ah, c'est le deuxième du coup, l'âme divine. Examinons tout ça. Dans son texte, Philippe suggère... Alors, écrit en 1148, ok. Dans son texte, Philippe suggère que vu que le Dieu a créé l'homme à son image, nous portons tous une éstrelle divine en nous. Et si nous avons parfois l'impression que Dieu nous a abandonnés, il est en fait plus proche que de nous que n'importe qui, car notre âme est de nature divine. Ce qui signifie que l'homme ne peut pas atteindre le salut de l'extérieur, mais que nous pouvons tous changer le monde qui nous entoure. Nous pouvons planter une graine et Dieu la fera ensuite pousser. Le message d'espoir de Philippe a été entendu dans toute l'Angleterre et même ailleurs en Europe. Mais l'église est très critique vis-à-vis de ce texte. Pourquoi ça m'étonne pas, comme le premier. Dans son premier livre, Philippe n'a fait que critiquer les faux miracles. Maintenant, il semblait affirmer que tous les hommes étaient égaux face à Dieu et que les membres du clergé n'étaient pas plus proches de Dieu que tous les autres hommes. Donc en gros que l'église, en gros, sont au même stade que toi ou moi, quoi, en gros. Voilà, voilà. Il a raison, un homme reste un homme.
Jack!
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the fleece fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am
Dangereux, ça.
sure she'll be alright.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late. I think I know what caused the problems we have with the east wall.
Wonderful. You know, I just realized that the crack in the wall reminds me of the one that the old cathedral had.
The one that burned down?
Yes.
Celle qui est brûlée
I
par...
only noticed it when I visited
Jack.
after Prior James died.
It wasn't there before then?
No. I remember that I thought the crack looked like a finger, pointing at the sinners of Kingsbridge.
A grim thought.
I was not happy with the state of Kingsbridge back then. I admit that.
Et ouais.
Jonathan is probably right. Aliena will be fine. Still, I'd feel better if she was here with us.
Tu m'étonnes.
That's not the way to the... No, not before I find out what's making...
Pas mal la vue. En même temps, c'est un boulot immense, hein, une cathédrale. Eh.
Philip is right. It does look like a finger. Pointing right at the crypt.
Ouais. Enfin, la crypte elle est à gauche, hein. Et le doigt, entre guillemets, il pointe vers la droite, on dirait. Bizarre.
I better wait for Tom.
Enfin bon.
I know he doesn't want to miss anything.
Je fais quoi alors? Ah, ok. C'est scripté. Je sais pas, mais là le coup je le sens pas trop, la tempête, Tom et tout qui veut arriver alors qu'il est blessé avec sa jambe et tout.
Now it's down here too. The first
Pas mal l'hôtel de la Vierge.
That means we were right. The cause of the instability must be down here.
The ground.
Could be.
The
J'avais
drought
dit le
could
sol.
make it worse.
We'll find out. Do you want to work on this one?
Go ahead. I need some time to catch my breath. Don't look at me like that. I'm fine.
Rashid was right. People love to believe in miracles. The reason most people come to Kingsbridge now is for Philip's sermons. He tells them what they need to hear. He gives them hope.
Bah, au moins il croit en vrai truc, pas en une fausse statue.
This is the spot. Let's find out what the real problem is. The old wall here, or what's behind it. If there's dry sand behind there, we know it's the ground.
Just be careful when you work on that wall. If it's the ground and the foundation, the whole wall could cave in.
Non, pas le QTE. Ah, pas le QTE, je vois pas la barre, je vais le faire à l'aveugle encore une fois.
Yeah.
Ok, le deuxième il est là. Merci le retour du stream.
Here we go. But
what?
I think I can feel a draft.
What?
Passage secret. Non, pas de QTE, pas plus. Non. Je vois rien. Ok, middle et gauche. Ah.
Damn it.
You know, Philip, you're damn.
Ah, est-ce qu'il faut tout recommencer? Oh, fuck. C'est un truc de fou. Et en plus, ça change le QTE, non?
Jack, watch out!
It's all right.
What is it?
Depuis le livre au moins, je savais qu'il y avait un truc ici, je sais pas pourquoi. On voyait des bestioles passer à travers le mur et tout.
These stones, they've been removed before.
Ouais.
The mortar is missing on most of them.
Whoever put them back just added some mortar on top of the stones to hide the fact that they were removed. The tile at the bottom was completely loose.
What does that mean?
I think it was an entrance.
An entrance? To where?
Donc il a dégagé quand même le mur, mais il s'effondre pas. Alors qu'il était extrêmement fragilisé quand même.
You've got the whole east wall on top of you. Jack?
Jack?
I'm all right. I just hit my head. It's dark in here. There's a whole room here. A chamber. What's that? I'll get a
Une
torch.
prison, on dirait.
Philip, I'll get it. You stay here.
C'est chaud, on dirait une prison.
I'll have to fill the east wall will fall.
Ah, ouais.
Is that a coffin? Oh, there's sand everywhere. Uh-huh. It's a bed.
Non, c'est une prison.
There's a bed in
Il y a une table de nuit à côté avec un petit bol.
What? Jonathan, we need that torch.
On voit une sorte de crucifix au-dessus d'un truc pour mettre une torche, on dirait.
Strange.
C'est chelou. Un lit. Mhm.
That's not wood. It's metal. Gold, even.
C'est pas une prison alors.
Knows what this is. It's made of leather. It's a whip. What is that
fouet?
doing here?
I have the torch.
All right, come in here. Should be
Ça
safe.
m'intrigue.
Yes.
Pourquoi il y aurait un pommeau de torche ou je ne sais quoi en or s'il y aurait un fou à côté, c'est une prison,
Did
c'est
you
pas
know
possible.
about this place?
Ça coïncide pas.
No. No, I did not. I've seen this chalice before, when I was very young. It's the chalice of the Eucharist from Kingsbridge Cathedral.
Ah ouais, le calice que soi-disant le père de Jack aurait volé. Et on l'a tué pour ça. Ça se trouve c'est un coup du... Merde, de l'ancien prieur. Celui que du coup Philippe a remplacé. Après sa mort. Ça se trouve ceux qu'il avait planqué ici. Dans sa salle secrète. C'était un complot.
They said it was stolen.
And melted down. I know. Mother told me. They also said it was my father who did it.
Did they?
So he's innocent then?
He must be.
And whoever hid
Il l'a
the
toujours
chalice
été.
is responsible for his death. They hanged him in
C'est le
Shire
prieur James.
for stealing this chalice. But it was here all along.
That scourge. The whip. It belonged to Prior James.
Bingo.
I was
Prior
afraid
James.
of it when I first visited Kingsbridge with Francis and Abbot Peter. Even the look of it scared me.
James. Maybe it was him. I think I saw
Bien sûr
him
que c'était lui.
during the night of the fire in the cathedral. When the old cathedral burned down. There was a man in the fire. His shoulders were bloody. As if he had chastised.
Ah, le fou, c'était lui. Mais il est pas mort alors, ça veut dire? Merde.
It is you. By God and the devil.
He told me that he had sinned, that he had done something to me. Perhaps because I looked like my father.
So he confessed for framing your father while he hid the cup here?
But it couldn't have been James you saw. James died weeks before the fire.
Did he? You said they never found his body. Maybe he hid down here. Maybe that's why the bed's here.
Wait. Jack, you were in the burning cathedral. What were you doing there?
Non. Oh la vache. Oh le choix. Allez, je vais quand même rester honnête. Hein. Je vais le dire. Allez.
And then I told Philip what I'd done. He just looked at me and didn't say anything.
Donc ouais, donc Pilliers James était encore en vie. L'un des 3 mecs du complot avec Walleran et puis le père de... L'autre enfoiré, comment il s'appelle déjà? Le père de William Amleg, j'ai oublié son nom, Percy Amleg, voilà. Donc les 3 sont encore en vie et le complot est encore d'actualité, ça veut dire. Pourquoi? J'imagine pour des richesses. Avec le calice en or. Ça doit être ça. Hein. J'imagine. Ah, je te jure. Eh ben, en tout cas, le scénario est quand même bon, pas mal du tout. Hein. Ça s'intensifie de plus en plus. Encore plus que les livres 1 et 2. C'est vraiment pas mal du tout. Alors... Quand il était enfant, Philippe avait peur du fléau du prieur James. Quand il l'a vu, enfin, quand lui et l'abbé Peter, l'homme qui a élevé Francis et Philippe après la mort de leurs parents, sont venus à Kingsbridge. Ouais. 2 années plus tard, James a décidé que Philippe, désormais un jeune homme, devait avoir la possibilité de diriger sa propre cellule de prieuré, Saint John dans la forêt. À chaque fois que Philippe rendait visite à la maison de mère de Kingsbridge, il se souvenait du jour où il avait vu le fléau. L'abbé Peter n'appréciait pas l'idée que la douleur pouvait mener au salut. Bah ouais, tu m'étonnes. Alors que le prieur James pensait que le châtiment était le seul moyen de nettoyer l'âme des tentations impies de la chair. Quand Jack a dit à Philippe qu'il pensait que le prieur James était vivant le jour où la cathédrale a brûlé, Philippe s'est souvenu que quelques semaines auparavant, le chœur n'osait pas chanter parce qu'il pensait entendre quelqu'un dans la crypte. Et ben voilà, c'était lui. Peut-être entendait-il vraiment James caché dans la pièce secrète de la crypte. Mais pourquoi? Pourquoi se cacher? Pourquoi se faire passer pour mort? Ça, aucune idée. J'espère qu'on le saura par la suite. Pendant ce temps à Earl Castle. Ah, Aliena. Ah non. C'est enfoiré de Amleg.
What do you want?
Et Walleran.
Do you think it is wise to resign yourself to gluttony at times like these? While your people starve on the streets of Shiring?
Don't play the saint. You promise them miracles. And you make them pay. But your miracles never work out, do they?
God works in ways that we cannot comprehend.
My mother cannot walk. You failed. Again. What do you want?
I came about a book.
The
Celui de
Bible.
Philippe?
Again.
Non.
No. Philip of Gwynedd wrote it.
Voilà.
And the church is displeased. Bishop Henry was enraged. This is our chance, William.
Your chance, you mean? If you need forces, talk to Walter or Ugly. I don't care. I built your fucking cathedral. I'm done.
It's not just about Philip. It's about Aliena and her family.
Don't mention that name.
But have you not heard? King Stephen and Maud's son just signed a peace treaty.
I don't care.
You should care.
I said I don't. Now leave and don't come back unless I ask for you. Where's my wife?
They've not returned yet, Lord William.
Sa femme, c'est qui?
Then get me a whore. Now!
Ah ouais. Le gars, c'est le luxe, le luxe, le luxe. Allez. Enfin, les péchés plutôt. Beaucoup de péchés. La gourmandise. Le sexe, tout ça. La fin de la guerre. Après plus de 15 années de guerre civile opposant Stephen et Maud, l'Angleterre était plus divisée que jamais. Bah ouais, tu m'étonnes. Après une confrontation finale à Wallingford, le fils de l'impératrice Maud Henri II et Stephen ont conclu une trêve. Le traité fut par la suite signé à Winchester et Westminster. Selon les termes du traité, Stephen restera roi jusqu'à sa mort et Henri II prendra alors sa succession. Ouais. Le traité indique également que toutes les décisions prises pendant le règne de Stephen concernant les terres sont immédiatement annulées et reviennent en l'été. En l'été ? En l'état ? Non ? Je sais pas. Où elles étaient à l'époque du roi Henri I. Ce qui signifie que le comté de Shiring appartient à nouveau aux héritiers de Bartholomew et non plus aux Amleg. Ah, donc ça revient à Aliena et son frangin. Cool. Mais qui osera aller s'opposer à William Amleg? C'est ça. Le cruel, le psychopathe, le fourbe, tout ce que tu veux. C'est chaud. Et voici Aliena. Elle a pas changé, hein. Les cheveux un peu grisonnants vite fait, mais c'est tout. Allez, petite sauvegarde. Hop. Oui. Sacrée tempête. Ouch. Ah, les QTE. Ils sont très bien ces QTE, mais bon, quand tu ne les vois pas, c'est horrible. Il y en a beaucoup dans ce livre en plus.
I am sorry for intruding, but I must ask you for shelter. I was on my way from the Fleece Fair in Winchester to Kingsbridge and got caught in the storm.
Nasty, isn't it?
Yes. And it's getting worse and worse. Thank you for your hospitality.
Ouais, pour hospitalité. Elle est où?
Hello?
Ah, là.
Oh dear, are you hurt?
My horse, it fell. I can't move.
Take my hand. We'll get you inside. We'll only be here until it's safe to leave. We won't bother you. I'm Aliena. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Breathe, Elizabeth. You're safe now.
Mm-hmm.
She took her in.
Should have let her die. We would all be better off without someone like her.
Sympa les paysans.
I should keep my dagger. I hope the storm spares your homes and fields.
If only we had that much left.
We still have our lives.
And our dignity.
You still have yours.
I don't like this.
Hold your horses. We'll see what happens.
I should be more careful what I'm doing in here.
Ok. Moi ce que je veux c'est le chaudron en fait.
We don't have much, but always enough for a lost soul.
What's she doing now?
I don't know. I think she's freezing. Maybe we should be kinder to her.
Eat this. You must be hungry.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
Why are you giving her soup? Dirt. That's what
pourquoi pas
she
abruti?
deserves for dinner.
What? Do you want her to starve?
Please, don't start a fight.
No, they don't deserve our kindness.
Hey, what are you gonna do with that?
I'm just going to borrow it.
Let's try to get along until the storm passes.
Just try to ignore it. I am.
Thank you.
Hey, that's our blanket.
Can't you see she's freezing?
Ah les mecs relous.
It's all right. It's just a blanket.
Oh, you're so kind. Many people would have let me die. People don't listen to me.
Elle a fait quoi pour que tout le monde les ados?
Who? My husband and his entourage.
A
Marie,
fine
elle est jeune.
husband you have. I divorced my last one for less than that.
Divorced? Oh, he's just been beside himself ever since his mother.
Non.
Maybe now you'll understand what loss feels like.
Non, j'ai
And
compris.
what you people are doing to us.
J'ai compris. C'est la femme de William Meg.
Can't you see she's upset?
Ouais.
How do they know
Elle dit que son mari c'est un connard.
This isn't right.
Justement, il l'a cherché, elle était pas là.
I guess that's how it is when your husband holds an office like that. He has to do a lot of things people don't like.
Tout le monde la déteste forcément à cause de son mari.
Sometimes they recognize me too.
C'est ça. Hey, hey, hey.
Is your husband
C'est ça.
the Earl of Shiring?
I thought you knew.
William Hamley.
Oh, please don't abandon me too. I swear, I'm not... I can't...
I used to know him when I was a girl.
Really?
Why did you marry him?
My parents arranged it. And it was an honor to be picked.
What's he like now?
I loathe
Toujours un
him
connard.
in my heart. How do you know him?
Alors, être diplomate ou être franche? On va être franche, hein.
He wanted to marry me when I was your age. Apparently, he likes young girls, no matter how old he gets.
You too were supposed to marry him. How come you didn't?
He was a beast. So I refused.
You refused him?
It caused a lot of misery.
You're so courageous. I wish I was like you. I can't even stand up to the servants.
Don't act like you didn't have a hand in the downfall of this land. For years he roamed across the country to raid, rape and kill.
Oui, mais il, c'est pas elle.
I'm sorry.
He's no earl. After all he's taken from us, we should take something from him too.
She has nothing to do with this. Don't you dare touch her. Can't you see she's another one of his victims?
Oh, give over. She's in on it too.
Can you even imagine how it must be to be a child married to Hamley? The abuse and the humiliation every single day. I'm so sorry.
I'm crying because you know too.
Enough to know your pain.
I just don't know what to do anymore.
Damn, where the hell am I supposed to tether this horse?
Ah, Walter.
It's
Le bras
Walter.
droit de William.
He's looking for me.
Quick, take this.
En moins que ça, j'aurai 2 succès. Un pour avoir pris soin d'elle et un pour avoir fui la dague.
Walter.
You? I've not seen you in a long time. William would be very pleased if I brought him your head.
No! Don't harm her. If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead. She saved me from the storm.
Did she now? Come on, we have to get back to the castle. We've lost too much time already.
Elizabeth stays with me.
No, she doesn't.
Thank you for saving me and protecting me from these people.
Come on now, we need to get going. William is waiting.
Et moi du coup je reste là ou je vais avec eux? Je me le demande. Est-ce mon refus qui a dégoûté William du mariage pendant les années suivantes? Est-ce à cause de moi qu'il s'est marié aussi tard? Après avoir rencontré Elisabeth, j'ai découvert qu'elle était la fille d'Harold de Weymouth, je connais pas, un riche chevalier soutenant le roi Stephen. Elisabeth n'avait que 14 ans au moment du mariage. Waouh, chaud! L'évêque Walram les a unis dans la cathédrale de Shawing et toutes les personnes d'importance, il n'y a pas de S, ont été conviés à un large festin. Elisabeth est une jeune fille douce qui a dû se sentir honorée d'être choisie pour devenir la femme du comte. Sauf qu'en fin de compte, quand tu connais la personne, non, tu n'es pas honoré du tout. Au contraire, tout l'inverse. Je n'ose pas imaginer comment William doit la traiter. Raison de plus pour mettre fin à toute cette histoire. Tu m'étonnes. Et le chapitre 3 est terminé. Alors, ce que j'ai fait, j'ai trouvé une chambre secrète sous la cathédrale de Kingsbridge. J'ai confessé à Philippe avoir mis le feu à l'ancienne cathédrale. Le livre de Philippe est très critiqué par l'église, donc quoi que tu fasses, ça change pas, je pense. Il est entre l'impératrice Maud et le roi Stéphane a pris fin. Vous avez trouvé Elisabeth qu'après être entrée dans la hutte. Ah ouais, j'ai fait le con là par contre, j'aurais dû y aller directement. J'espère que j'aurai quand même le succès. Je lui ai filé de la soupe, je lui ai filé une couverture et je lui ai filé ma dague. Pouf. Allez, chapitre 4. Enfin, chapitre 18. Là, je le finirai pas ce soir, sans je l'avais dit, hein, je le finirai demain soir, je pense. Là, je m'en fais encore une bonne heure et demie, je pense, de stream, et puis je le finirai demain soir, ouais. Ah, nouvelle lettre de Philippe à son frangin.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book. But only you know what my words in those letters amount to. It is different with the book I have written. It has found its way into priories throughout England and beyond. Because of my book, I may have to talk to Bishop Henry. But that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight.
Ouais.
Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it. But it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his burial. And Jack told me he saw a man in the church the night it burned down. Was that him? And if so, did he burn in the fire that night?
Même pas sûr.
The dust storm and the drought are taking their toll on all of us. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe from the Earl and the outlaws. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attackers were William Hamley's men. We have enough food to last us
Encore
another
les
few
mêmes.
weeks. But life has come to a halt. Martha believes there will be rain soon. But the storm is only a harbinger of rain. I hope that she is right. Jonathan worries about my book. The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly, and since God made each of us, hope and salvation, Henry sells hope, and I am giving it away for free. If the church should ask me to clarify my position, of course I shall do so. But I feel I must give our people what they need in these desperate times. And how could I write anything else, if this is what I truly believe? It must be well after midnight. With you, I can be honest about what truly troubles me. Jack told me that he was responsible for the fire in Kingsbridge. I know that it was a long time ago. He told me it was an accident. And I don't think Tom knew either.
My God. Save yourselves! The Saint! We must save the Saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The Saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
And as horrible as it may sound, I cannot find it in my heart just now to forgive Jack. Maybe because this confession comes too late, and from a man who I have learned to trust. This is the truth.
Voilà, une affaire rondement menée.
I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down. I know them by heart, but Jonathan insisted we keep them. I don't like to indulge in my own writings. Later. I need time to think. Jack is... he always is.
Il bosse même maintenant, eh ben. Le gars s'arrête jamais. Alors, je suis où? Ok.
Hello? I thought I saw someone.
C'est quoi tous ces gens là?
That came from the kitchen.
Ah, il y a un succès là aussi.
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something. Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No. No, she's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind.
Mais je crois que je sais qui c'est.
I'll go ahead.
C'est un mec qu'on a vu dans le livre 1.
There's someone in here.
Normalement c'est frère Marcus si je dis pas de bêtises. Un frère qu'on avait réprimandé de vol dans l'église. Si je ne dis pas de bêtises.
They are probably just after food. I will talk to them. All right.
Ils ont même pas grillé.
He's alone. There must have been others.
On a resté plusieurs, resté 3.
Most of the food is gone.
We will not harm you. Do you hear me?
Ah! Jack! Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
No!
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child. Just like that. And I
c'est pas lui, alors.
forgave him. For that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing earlier what he had done? I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate, and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to tell her.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't enough anymore. The outlaws had found a way in. We weren't safe in our homes.
So this is what it has come to. Kingsbridge is under attack.
Why didn't Uncle Richard chase them away? Why?
Now, do not exaggerate. This is not a siege.
We only saw 2 of them, and one of them was a child.
But they almost killed you.
They were just looking for food. They didn't mean any harm.
It's the drought. It destroyed all the crops. They must eat something.
Desperate or not, they're only the vanguard of a full-scale invasion.
If we had a decent Earl, the people wouldn't be starving.
It is all too easy to blame a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive, I mean.
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame. It's that simple.
Well, he won't be Earl for long. The Treaty of Wallingford has been signed at last. It's only a matter of time until things change.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke Henry, is to be crowned the next king.
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as he lives.
The earldom will be ours again.
It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language?
No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
Le tuer? Ouais.
Well, for one thing, we shouldn't start blaming the outlaws.
I agree. They're not our enemies. The outlaws and us are all sitting at the same table.
There were times when you monks wouldn't even offer us a chair.
So what do we do now? Wait for William to lose the earldom once King Stephen is dead?
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat? I'll share.
Eh oui.
We should, and we will. But there are
Intelligent,
too
les
many
gosses.
to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age. The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I'm so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
You're right, but it wasn't William Hamley who came here last night. It's the outlaws we need to worry about.
Well, what do we do about it?
Ha! You know, we could solve all our problems with one blow. We could either fight those outlaws, or we could make them fight for us.
Fight for you?
Right! We could make them attack William Hamley. Huh. And while they're busy killing each other, we can plan a surprise attack.
I won't have any of that.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
That'll never work. We have to assault them and take back our father's castle. Even if that means fighting alongside the outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, what do you think, Aliena?
I will talk to the outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother is right. Besides, if we all turn up, they might think we mean them harm.
C'est pas bête. Donc là aussi, ce que c'est que j'ai vu, il faut rallier tous les hors-la-loi en gros contre William. Donc il faut trouver tous les villages de la carte et rallier tout le monde. Alors, il y a marqué quoi? Assurez-vous de visiter tous les villages sur le menu de voyage. Évitez Shiring afin de trouver The Butcher. Ok. Et du coup, petite sauvegarde, hein, on sait jamais. Je vais la faire, tiens, là. Hop. Et c'est reparti.
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was riddled with death and despair. I'd heard that Wigley had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Calford, on the other hand, had a recent fight with William Hamley. There's a chance that they would be quick to join our resistance. As we reached Wigley, we met a farmer tending to a scrawny chicken. She told us Hamley had claimed ownership of all their cattle. Shortly after that, the cattle vanished. Raiders had taken it, throwing Hamley into a fit of rage. Some say they recognized the thieves, neighbors who had once lived among them. They were long believed to be among the dead. Were we really building our hopes on a pack of ghosts? We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof, pointed toward a ruined mill. Hamley's mill, he called it, which used to have the right to grind all grain from the nearby villages. That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed the miller and every last bag of flour belonging to the starving people of Calford. Many had fled the forest, desperate for their lives.
Quel enfoiré celui-là, jusqu'au bout. En tout cas, pour ça, toujours personne. Hein.
The fields of Huntley
Encore bredouille.
spurred fond memories. Here, I'd negotiated my first deal to transport and
oui.
sell the farmer's wool.
Dans le livre 2.
Now, the meadows had turned to straw, and the sheep were dead. Soon, we reached Uncle Simon's abandoned hut. Our horses needed rest, so we wanted to leave them there while we looked around on foot. Then, I remembered how Richard had been kicked by the man William had paid to catch us, and the horrible sounds he'd made lying there. I asked him where he got bread in times like these. Was it stolen? No, I got it from the butcher. The people at Sally's quarry told me to ask the butcher, he blurted out, startled by his own voice. Before we could ask more, the frightened man jumped up and fled into the forest. The butcher. Was he the one we were looking for?
Ah, on a enfin un
A
indice.
leader whom the downtrodden trusted and feared?
Ah, non, les chemins, ça fait que de se croiser. Dans tous les sens.
The abandoned quarry was teeming with activity. Many poor souls were gathering around a fireplace, boiling a stew from meat and turnips. It was plain to see that these people weren't held together by blood or profession, but by hunger and desperation. And by their numbers, I thought, that could make them quite dangerous. Were these outlaws? We walked slowly towards them. I sensed that Richard was ready to draw his sword. The first one to notice us was a little girl. Swiftly pointing a finger at us, "Who are they?" she asked. All eyes darted towards us. Their reactions were as varied as their faces. Some looked afraid, curious, and confused. Others were full of hatred and contempt. "We're not here to hurt you," I explained. "We just want to talk." "Where can I find the butcher?" I asked. Their faces expressed anger and fear. I explained that we were looking for food. They told us that the butcher was still in Monksfield, but that meat would come every couple of days. I said that wouldn't be a problem, not knowing what they meant. It looked like our path led us back to Monksfield.
Donc objectif Monksfield. On va faire toute la carte. Et là on va pouvoir jouer. Ah, de retour ici du coup. Ok. Eh ben le monde est petit. Bon là il y aura un dialogue à faire. Faut pas que je me foire, donc on va faire une petite sauvegarde avant. Pour un succès. Tac. Non mais il ne reste plus que 2 succès ratables encore. Après le reste c'est lié à l'histoire. Ça va. Normalement je n'ai raté aucun succès pour l'instant. Je l'espère, avec les succès bugs, il faut les faire popper d'une manière un peu particulière. Il faut aller sur la page des succès du jeu en gros pour les faire popper, c'est chelou. J'ai jamais vu ça. Alors, bon.
We're looking for the butcher.
The butcher of Monksfield has long since moved away.
Damn, I can't believe it.
No need for cursing, young man. If you bring me an animal, I can prepare it for you.
Do people call you the butcher then?
Why'd you ask? What do you want?
Do you have a lot of outlaws passing by?
You don't see it in their faces, dear, but we all have been failed by the law and our leaders. Don't you agree?
I asked because we feel the same way. And we're looking for a way to make things right again.
Is that so?
We're looking to build an army to invade Earl's castle and kill Earl William Hamley.
Oh my. If it was that easy, someone would have done that a long time ago. The poor souls I meet, they're just simple people. They're not an army.
We would lead them.
I'm a knight. I know how to turn ordinary men into fighters.
In their condition, most of them can barely kill a chicken, let alone a man. These people are mothers, fathers, hard workers, yes.
Parce que les chevaliers sont pas des pères déjà? Non.
We'd reward them if they helped us.
You must know we are the rightful heirs to Earl Bartholomew of Shiring, and would show ourselves very generous.
So, you're just another pair of nobles who want to use us as pawns in their battle, to die for you.
It is the best chance we have. This is a battle for the sake of the people of Shiring, for all of us.
It's rubbish. It's what it is.
We are offering you a chance to rid the land of Hamley, to fight for your freedom.
The last time I saw you, you showed kindness toward that young woman who was with you. I am willing to listen to a good soul, but I won't help you blindly.
That woman that was here, that you helped, that was Hamley's wife. His wife, my God. How stupid do you think we are?
Right, it's a trap.
Well, how can these people put their life at risk if they do not trust you? You are not like us.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it's like to live in poverty.
And just like you, we had William Hamley to thank for it.
But I also know that if one fights the right battles, that things can change for the better.
But they're starving, my child. They are weakened by poverty, hunger, and illness. Who are you to think you can face William Hamley?
Yeah. You! Who do you think you are?
La vraie comtesse de Shiring.
We are the children of Bartholomew, Earl of Shiring.
Our father once ruled with a firm but benevolent hand. You must remember how good you had it.
Well, better than now, but that's easy.
He did have guts, though, trying to take on Stephen.
So, you are his daughter and son, you say?
Yes, all we know we learned from him.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Even if we work together, Hamley is too powerful.
You ask us to sacrifice
C'est un
our
bon nouveau, on
lives for
dirait.
your noble cause, these people will die.
Leur promettre la sécurité, c'est pas mal. Soutien de fille. Il n'y a pas de thé à soutien. Les grammaires nazis. Mais bon, c'est quand même mieux que les traductions hein, foireuses de tel. Hein. On est quand même, voilà. Là, c'est juste une lettre par-ci par-là. Alors, leur assurer que vous leur ferez le même sacrifice. Ça peut être pas mal là, par le sacrifice, mais en même temps, je pense pas que ce soit ce qu'ils veulent non plus. Leur promettre la sécurité, ça peut être pas mal aussi, je pense. Ouais.
There's only one person that has to die. William Hamley. And we have a plan that will make sure there'll be no bloodshed.
Is that true?
It is.
I don't believe them. Hamley has an entire army, for God's sake.
I could never face him.
Very true.
Listen to yourself. You don't sound any better than the kings and nobles that have stolen from us and forsaken us.
Yeah, get lost.
Wait.
Didn't you hear? Get out.
How can you be so dense? This is your battle too.
We've lost them, Richard. Let's go.
Non.
It's probably
Non,
better
c'est pas
this
bon.
way. We are on our own. If we succeed, things will be better. For all of you, I promise.
I will pray for you, child. It is not too late to stop. Stay away from Earl's castle.
For us, there is no turning back.
Je n'ai pas réussi à lever une armée, j'aurais été William tout seul, ok. Ce chapitre était quand même vachement court. Hein. Je vais quand même recharger la save.
Because I had failed to gain support, my
Je vais zapper ça. Allez, je peux faire quand charger. Il faut que je réussisse, le dialogue. Il faut, je le dois, je suis obligé. Il y a un succès pour ça déjà. Et puis même, je veux monter une armée, je veux pas y aller tout seul en mode YOLO. Non, ça passe pas.
Get in line and stay in line.
Allez, laissez-moi mettre pause. Je peux même pas. Ah, vas-y, c'est bon. Hein? Je peux même pas. Voilà, charger. Charger. En tout cas, le chapitre 4 était vachement court. Hein. La longueur, ouais, quand même assez inégale. Le chapitre 1 de ce livre faisait quand même plus d'une heure. Le 2 et 3 étaient quand même assez longs, il durait facilement 40 minutes. Et le 4, ouais, vite fait. Hein. Alors, la boucherie. On avait fait ça.
No need. If you bring me,
do people?
Why'd you ask?
Do you?
Il faut que je réussisse le dialogue. C'est capital pour la suite. Du coup, on voit les gens qui bougent, mais guidés. On voit les animations des personnages, mais on n'entend pas les voix. Tellement je spam la touche.
I am well.
Yeah.
Oh, but I. But they.
Yeah.
You.
Well.
He did have guts though. Trying to take
après, je leur parle de quoi du coup? Sacrifice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Là, ils sont contents là. Yeah, yeah. Là, on est en bonne voie.
Even if we.
You ask.
Soutien de Philippe, ça. Je sais pas, l'église. Est-ce que l'église, franchement, c'est important dans une bataille? Non, pas vraiment. L'église, on s'en fout. Parler de sacrifice.
We too will make the same sacrifices. I only ask of you what I myself am willing to give. If anything happens to you, it will also happen to me.
You have noble principles, I see.
Yeah.
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 Bien,
I
ça,
said
bien.
it before. We all have lost everything.
Ah, petite musique.
For our lives.
Petite musique d'ambiance là. Je sens que c'est bon.
But maybe this is our battle too.
My people will decide for themselves. But I will tell them that I believe that it is indeed a battle worth fighting.
I thank you.
I pray
Yes!
that it will be worth it.
We will all pray.
Ah, ça risque d'être lourd par contre.
Fight.
Voilà, bingo. Chapitre 18 terminé. Alors résumé, les premiers hors-la-loi ont réussi à entrer dans Kingsbridge. En tout cas, tu peux rien y faire, c'est lié à l'histoire. Vous avez la possibilité de reprendre Earth Castle et tenir votre promesse envers votre père, donc. De reprendre ce qui t'appartient. J'ai trouvé le chef de hors-la-loi. Je n'ai pas fait de promesse sur la sécurité de hors-la-loi en cas d'attaque. Ah. Oui. Je sais pas comment c'était. Les hors-la-loi ont accepté de se battre à vos côtés. Parfait. Plus que 3 chapitres avant le... Bah avant la fin en fait.
And so, after 17 years, I finally returned to the place I'd once called home.
Chapitre 19. Retour à Earl Castle.
There was a small army of famished outlaws hiding in the surrounding woods waiting for my signal to attack. Led by my vengeful brother, Richard. But I had to be sure that Elizabeth was safe. The poor girl who in my stead had been doomed to become William Hamley's wife.
Ouais mais comme elle a la dague, elle devrait pouvoir se défendre. Normalement, je l'espère. Sinon on est mal barre. Earl Castle. Examinons. Le père du comte Bartholomew avait ordonné la construction de ce château à quelques kilomètres de Shiring et de l'agitation de son marché afin d'accueillir le siège du pouvoir du comté. Cette zone désormais constituée d'un petit village et des cités environnantes est connue sous le nom d'Earl Castle. Le château a principalement servi de lieu de résidence à la famille du comte et à son entourage, mais ses défenses n'ont pas eu l'occasion d'être mises à l'épreuve. Ouais. Parce que ça a un peu le temps de se terminer en plus ces défenses. Là c'était pas complète. Après la capture brutale du château par William Hamley, nommé successeur du Bartholomew de Shiring, le bâtiment s'est vidé d'une grande partie de ses habitants. Bah ouais, tu m'étonnes. Avec la terreur qu'il a infligée. Désormais, Earl Castle est un nom qui inspire la terreur. Depuis la fin de la construction de la cathédrale de Shiring, William semble encore plus aigri. Le tu peux le virer. Certains affirment qu'il a perdu la foi. Bon bah il a perdu tout, même la raison et tout. Hein. Et qu'il ne vit plus que pour satisfaire son appétit vorace, sa cupidité en dépouillant les paysans affamés.
Get in line and stay in line.
Pour le sexe aussi.
You'll all get your chance to pay your dues to Lord Hamley, you hear? So no pushing.
Why does Lord Hamley need all that food? He's got more than enough.
Shut it, Wob. Smear your face with dung and lower your head. It's the only way you get out of here alive.
Sympa les pendus derrière.
It's no coincidence that Hamley always for women to bring the tributes.
Oh, shut up.
Are you all right?
What do you think? Of course I'm all right. I'm more all right than anyone else in this crowd. Because Lord Hamley insists on women to deliver the tributes. Mean you have to send your youngest and prettiest. Fools.
Calm yourself. I'll make sure that nothing will happen to you.
They took a woman in my town. Never came back.
Nothing will happen to you if you just remain calm. Are you all right?
What do you think? I'm all right. Just be...
Patience, patience.
Is Lady Elizabeth home?
She is, and will definitely. Don't want her to get lost in another storm.
How long will this take?
A lot longer if you don't shut your mouth.
What's taking so long?
Oh, right, I've had enough. Go on, ugly. Tear that nagging bitch.
J'espère que c'est pas un game over. Ah. Oups. J'ai trop parlé. Je dois faire quoi alors? Je peux pas bouger. Ouais. Charvasse le vilain.
Why does Lord Hamley need all that food? He's got more than enough.
Shut it, Wobber. Smear your face with dung and lower your head. The only way you get out of here alive. It's no coincidence that Hamley always asks women to bring the tribute.
Oh, shut up. Patient, patient.
What do you think you're doing? Get back in line before the sheriff's...
Ouais, ouais.
I'm just a shepherd's daughter.
Petit
I have
pomme
no
sèche.
business here.
Shut up.
Tu veux que j'en fasse quoi?
Beggars. Hey, what was that? Oh, stop fooling around, ugly. We've got hard work to do.
D'accord,
I didn't
ok.
do anything.
Ah, et devant il y a le bras droit. Attends.
Are
Je vais quand même pas parler aux autres. Hein.
Almost. Let me just see if I took enough. What are you doing here? You need to leave. Don't come any closer. William has me watched.
What's taking so long?
I forgot the pork. I'll be out shortly. Wait a moment, then follow me. We don't have much time. Hugh will look for me any moment now. So why did you come?
There's an army of outlaws hiding in the woods waiting for my signal. You need to be out of the way when they come.
But I mustn't leave.
They're very angry at your husband's family, and I want you to be safe.
Will people die?
Not if I can prevent it.
You need to save Lady Regan first.
Why do you care about Regan Hamley?
Oi! You still in there?
She and Walter have been the only kind souls here.
Walter? William's dog?
Don't call him that. He's not as bad as people say he is.
Maybe.
William won't allow me to talk to him anymore. Now Lady Regan is all I have left. Please, you have to promise that she'll be safe.
I will, if you agree to leave right now.
Is that a promise?
It is.
All right, I will try to sneak off then.
Hurry up in there! Or do you want me to come in and pull you out?
I need to go.
Thank the Lord she made it through. Now, I have to find Regan Hamley.
Oi, sod off. You have no reason to be here.
No. I shouldn't get too close.
Oi.
Je peux même pas aller à gauche.
You have no reason.
I need to talk to the Lady Hamley. I want you to take me to her.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. But why should I listen to you?
Oi, Walter! What's with the girl?
Elizabeth claims you aren't such a bad person after all.
Am I not? Have you forgotten that I killed your family's steward?
You got problems over there, Walter?
Et il est relou l'autre.
Tell your guard to stand down.
So you want me to help? Because deep down you believe I'm a nice bloke. Don't make me laugh. Hugh!
What?
If you help me, I will make sure that Lady Elizabeth is safe. You do care for her, don't you?
I don't believe you. But it's not up to me to judge these things. I'll take you to Lady Hamley. She'll decide.
Oh, elle est mourante.
My lady?
Elizabeth.
She's not here, but there's someone else to see you. The Lady Aliena of Shiring.
The Lady Aliena? When did that bitch become nobility again?
You would do well to call me by my proper title.
Why should I?
I'm certain you've heard about the treaty the King made with Duke Henry at Wallingford Castle.
I have. I have also heard that it's a muddled mess.
It is a complicated deal indeed, but one that will end the war. And one that makes my family the rightful owners of this earldom once more.
Only by word. There's no one who would come to enforce this, not even the king.
Don't you see what your son is doing to the land? Soon there won't be an earldom left to rule for anyone.
That's a lie. My William is a better earl than your father ever was. To think
Alors, je suis pas ce qu'il y a devant les yeux, mais ouais.
wanted to marry my good William into a family like yours. Not a day goes by when I am not glad that God saved us from that horrible fate. And that he sent that monk to Bishop Waleran to unveil your father's evil plan.
What monk?
That prior of Kingsbridge. Philip of Gwynedd.
What?
Where is my Elizabeth? Why is she not here?
Are you saying that Prior Philip told the bishop about my father?
Yes. He came to see Waleran in person.
Ah.
A messenger of God's
Les révélations.
plan. And we've been in control ever since.
I promised your son's wife that I'd make certain you'd be safe.
Safe from what? From a pack of impotent monks?
I have an army outside the gates, ready to attack.
What?
Get Elizabeth. I want her at my
Surprise.
side when the fighting starts.
She's gone.
Gone? What do you mean? Gone where?
I told her to leave Earl's Castle. She suffered enough under your son.
William didn't lay a finger on her.
He did. More than once, milady.
That is a lie.
It's up to you if this ends in a bloodbath or not.
Oh!
It's all up to you.
In the name of the true Earl of Shiring, make them suffer!
They're coming.
Mother? Mother, we're being attacked.
What's going on here? What's that bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying to take everything.
Is she? Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Putain, je la vois pas la barre de QTE, mais merde. Fais chier Twitch, fais chier, putain. Putain, c'est un truc de fou. J'ai la barre en plein dessus, en plein sur la barre de QTE. J'espère que c'est le même, hein. J'espère que ça ne change pas.
What's going on here?
Je te jure.
That bitch doing here?
She's trying to bargain.
She's trying
Face à
to
l'aveugle,
take
putain.
everything.
Is she?
Je suis fatigué.
Is she now?
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Putain, mais non, mais non, mais non. C'est même pas les mêmes les QTE, c'est pas possible. Si? Ah si. C'est la barre qui va vite. Ouais, du coup, bah, je m'excuse, hein, parce que du coup, ça risque de prendre plusieurs tentatives. Hein. Putain, vraiment, je prends un HDPVR. Parce que l'application Twitch sur la One, ça pue du cul complet.
What's going on here?
Les mixeurs, je pense que c'est la même.
That bitch doing
Là, c'est
here?
débile.
She's trying to bargain.
On pourrait mettre la barre de stream en plein sur un côté, ou je sais pas, pas en bas, au milieu. Où il y a les sous-titres en général.
Leave it.
Shut up, old man.
Enfin!
Cut that whore up, Walter!
No. You brought this on yourself.
You
Ah, bien.
bloody traitor! Someone get up here! Men! You will pay. You will all pay for this.
J'espère qu'il va crever. Enfin! Sans la cinématique. Non. Les enfers t'attendent, mon gars.
Now, we tell his men.
Voilà, ça c'est fait, bon débarras.
Stop! Stop fighting! Drop your weapons immediately!
Behold the banner of the new Earl of Shiring!
Everyone, listen! Lord Hamley is dead! The castle now belongs to the former Earl's family again.
What? You're shitting us!
It was the King's wish.
Who killed him?
He died by my hand. My name is Lady Aliena of Shiring. I'm the daughter of Bartholomew, the former Earl of these lands. I've been tasked to end the tyranny of William Hamley and restore order to Shiring.
Our occupation of Shiring has been made unlawful. Every attack on us is sanctioned by the King of the English.
So what will happen to us then? I shall tell the king that William Hamley forced you to do his bidding. That every atrocity done to the people of Shiring was his doing and his alone.
What? These bastards need to be hanged!
Yes! Hang 'em! Hang 'em!
Quiet! The real bastard is dead.
Ah ouais.
It is time we all got along. That is my final word.
Alors là, en gros, je peux leur... Soit je
Ali, I know that you're a
leur
much
fais
better
une
leader
crasse.
now. Without you, we would never have come this far. You never hesitated with swearing and fulfilling the oath to father. In the end, I will be the Earl in name only, but you shall be the true ruler of Shiring.
Richard, thank you.
I owe you a lot, Ali.
Du coup, j'ai pas choisi.
The tyranny of William Hamley is over. The
Wow.
Earldom of Shiring belongs to its rightful heir.
L'établissement d'aliénat de Shiring. Le roi Henri II, sur conseil de ses barons et en application du traité de Wallingford, a décrété que Shiring, au même titre que les autres comtés, serait rendu à ceux qui le dirigeaient avant le règne de l'ancien roi Stephen, ouais, comme il avait dit tout à l'heure. Selon les termes fixés pour sa souveraineté, le comté revient ainsi aux descendants de l'ancien comte Bartholomew de Shiring, ces derniers étant en droit de réclamer leur titre. Aliéna de Shiring sera donc nommée comtesse de Shiring au cours d'une cérémonie officielle jusqu'à ce que son fils atteigne l'âge requis pour avoir son titre. Le fils de qui? De Henri I ou d'Aliéna? Aliéna, je pense, vu la phrase.
Send a messenger to Kingsbridge to let Prior Philip know that Shiring is finally free.
What is it? Why are they laughing?
You can send a messenger if you want. But there won't be much of a prior left when he arrives.
Ali, what's going on?
Oh merde. Encore un chapitre plutôt court, mais intense, avec une bonne baston. Alors ce que j'ai fait, je suis entré dans Earl Castle avec une armée de hors-la-loi pour me soutenir. Je n'ai pas été par les anciens chevaliers de votre père. Ah, ceux que j'avais pas osé parler dans la cour, en haut. Bah ouais, c'était l'ancien chevalier de mon père en fait, ils auraient peut-être pu m'aider. J'ai pas osé parce que je me suis dit, si je leur parle, je vais me faire repérer et je vais me faire buter peut-être, et j'aurai game over. Donc j'ai dit à Elisabeth de se barrer de leur castle pour qu'elle puisse rester en vie. Richard a poussé les hommes de William à travailler pour lui désormais, ça c'est bien. Il m'a demandé de diriger le comté de Shiring. Plus que 2 chapitres.
The Pope believes we should either burn him or make him Bishop of Kingsbridge.
I have already taken matters into my own hands. My men arrested him while Kingsbridge was left unguarded.
While his friends took Earl's Castle.
Yes.
At least in his death, William Hamley was of use to you.
Ça sent pas bon ça. Finale. Hein? Finale? Mais il y a encore un chapitre après. Shiring, jour du procès.
Seems like they're enjoying themselves.
They never change. You drooling dogs should be ashamed.
Shut up, you old hag. Ellen?
I'm not feeling well.
I'll take care of you. You two go ahead. Hurry up.
Is your mother
Le
ill?
procès de qui? De Philippe?
It's not that.
Non.
This is where they hanged my father.
Ah bah c'est ça, c'est le procès de Philippe.
The trial begins. The judges. Brother of Stephen, King of the English. The Right Reverend Bishop Henry of Winchester. Her Highness, the Countess Lady Aliena of Shiring. Presiding over the trial, the Right Reverend Bishop of Shiring and Kingsbridge, Wailerun by God.
C'est enfoiré.
Please. The church is not without fault. We have gathered here today before the eyes of God to accuse one of our own. He wrote in his book that the church and the papacy are not necessary as intercessors between God and man. That God is in man, that all men are equal, and that each sinner is as close to our Lord as the Pope himself. Now, we ask God for his judgment. For his is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Not ours, and not yours. You stand accused of heresy. Philip of Gwynedd, how do you plead? Answer!
I am not.
C'est pas de l'hérésie, il est réaliste.
Your teachings speak another language. Guilty, I say.
I am deeply saddened. It may come as a surprise to you, but we had hoped to make you Bishop of Kingsbridge. Why has it come to this, Philip?
In part, I am to blame. I supported Philip in his early years. I demand that Philip be removed from his position of prior immediately.
No.
And that he remain in captivity until such time that Shiring and all of England have healed from the poisonous words he has dispersed.
No!
What? Yes?
You are accusing Philip because he has defied you.
I made him prior, and grateful he was not. But no,
Ouais, par intérêt, mec.
I accuse him because his teachings are false. And I intend to prove that Philip's decisions have been more than misguided in the past. Call in Remigius.
The Prior of Shiring, Father Remigius.
My bishop.
Tell the court, Remigius, what you have told me.
For many years, I served as sub-prior of Kingsbridge. First for Prior James, then for the accused.
What was your first impression of him?
I was impressed initially by how he handled the discussions in the chapter house.
What else?
Prior Philip did not hesitate to give refuge to the people fleeing Earl's Castle in the winter that our king died.
Is that not a good deed? A true Christian act?
You do not know him as well as you think you do, Lady Aliena.
Au contraire.
Today, that will change.
Then, on the day of our first Fleece Fair, we were attacked.
I heard. It was terrible.
Et à cause de qui?
I tried to
Wailerun.
soothe the woman's pain by reading the scripture to her. Our master builder's wife tried to put a spell on her with poisonous herbs.
And Philip intervened.
Yes. He pushed me aside and gave the woman poison.
Et ça l'a sauvé. Alors que des paroles, ça sert à que dalle.
It is worse than I thought.
It was no poison.
And then there was the day the Virgin Mary's statue arrived in Kingsbridge. I did not believe it was a miracle.
Me too.
Clearly it is a miracle. I hear of many who were healed in Kingsbridge.
Yes! Amen! Oh, Mary, bless us all!
Well, I soon realized it was a true miracle, but Philip did not.
Mais il s'est barré parce qu'il disait l'inverse. Enfoiré.
That is why I left.
He had to! Amen.
I believe there is one more thing you have not told us about. Something very important.
Yes. Philip has fathered a child.
Hein? What?
A son. And he raised him in the priory.
He is guilty!
Jonathan of Kingsbridge, step forward.
Mais n'importe quoi, c'est celui de Tom le bâtisseur.
This is preposterous.
Is it?
Is this true? Are you Philip's son?
Il l'a élevé comme son fils, c'est pas le sien.
Answer the question, Jonathan of Kingsbridge.
Philip has always been like a father to me. But he is not my father.
How do you know that?
He told me.
And how do you know he spoke the truth?
Speak! Philip would never lie. He told me that I was found in the woods.
In the woods? Is this true, Philip? Or are you lying? Well?
He was abandoned in the woods. My brother found him.
Your brother? The brother whose master you betrayed?
What are you talking about?
Philip tried to involve me in a conspiracy against his brother's master, Earl Robert of Gloucester. And his ally, Earl Bartholomew, your father, Lady Aliena. Philip took in all those refugees years ago because he was to blame for their fate. As he was for yours when you lost your father and your earldom. That, Lady Aliena, is the man you are trying to protect. Well?
I know that he is a troubled man.
Il a pardonné, alors on lui
We've all had to
pardonne.
make hard decisions. Decisions that seemed right at the time. When indeed, they were terrible mistakes. I am thankful that I was forgiven when I made a mistake. Now I forgive him. Let us now return to the problem at hand. There is a man who witnessed how Jonathan was found in the forest. A man who can shed light on who Jonathan's father really is.
And who is that?
My husband.
Step forward. What is your name?
He is the master builder of Kingsbridge.
Have you lost your courage?
No, I have not. You know well why it would be hard for me to face you. They call me Jack, after my father. My name is Jack Jackson.
Yes, we have met before.
How old were you when you allegedly saw Jonathan as a child in the woods?
12. But I know what I saw. Philip told the truth.
You were a child. And what were
Non
you
mais 12 ans
doing
quand même,
there?
c'est pas 3
In the
ans.
woods?
I was living in the forest with my mother.
They were outlaws.
Prior Remigius is the most trustworthy witness we've seen today, and his statement was quite damning to Philip. The distant memories of an outlawed child cannot convince me otherwise.
He fathered a child!
Let
No!
him go!
He would never do that!
And yet, Lady Aliena is right. We do not know enough to judge him as harshly as you proposed, Bishop Waileran.
You are right, Bishop Henry. As I said, it is not up to us to judge this man. Philip of Gwynedd has pleaded innocent, but how innocent is he?
Putain, je suis comme stressé pour lui quoi.
We ask God for his judgment.
Je veux pas qu'il meure.
As Bishop of Kingsbridge and Shiring, I demand an ordeal by fire.
This is madness!
Philip of Gwynedd will be tried and judged at the stake.
Mais non.
If he is innocent, God will save him from the flames. If he is not, then he will burn as the heretic and sinner God has declared him to be.
No! Waileran, by God! Not this time.
It's her.
I saw the child and Francis. I was there. Philip is not the child's father. He is a fool, but he is a good man.
Then, who is the father?
It is me.
They are all in this together. This woman is a witch and an outlaw, living in sin with a thief. He was hanged in Shiring 30 years ago.
He was not a thief. He was a good man. You've murdered him, Waileran, by God.
What is this nonsense?
He was a thief. He stole a golden chalice and melted it down and sold it.
What
Et le calice il est là.
The chalice of the Eucharist.
Ah, il faut le sortir.
He stole it from the Cathedral of Kingsbridge.
Sacrilege.
Yes, Prior James of Kingsbridge caught him red-handed.
Ce calice.
Is that the chalice? You said it was melted down and sold.
Fall not for their lies. That could be any chalice. This does not prove a thing.
Il commence à pas être bien là. On l'entend.
In a secret chamber. We believe Prior James hid it because he felt guilty for falsely accusing Jack's father.
What proof do you have?
He told me. The night the cathedral burned down, I was there, I saw him.
Prior James died weeks before that.
No, he did not.
Bishop Henry, he speaks the truth.
Order! I will give you until sunset to produce a witness who can prove your accusations against Bishop Waileran. Not just this chalice. If you fail to do this, I will make sure you are tried for defamation. Philip of Gwynedd, you will stay under arrest.
En gros, c'est Phil contre Waileran.
The trial recommences at sunset.
Eh
We need a witness.
What are you doing there?
I've seen you draw up plans for a cathedral. Maybe we can do something similar to find our witness.
Donc on fait un portrait robot.
Let's see. Your father.
He looks just like you.
My grandmother said he did.
And Bishop Waleran. What are the connections? Maybe, by exploring them, we can find a witness.
Good idea.
Jack's father. If he was still with us, he could be our witness.
Maybe he still can.
Bishop Waleran is at the center of all this.
Mother says Waleran was behind my father's death.
And she said he wasn't alone. There were 3 men responsible for your father's death. Bishop Waleran, Percy Hamley, back then he was the Sheriff of Shiring, and Prior James of Kingsbridge.
If they were all there, then they were all witnesses.
And only Waleran's still alive.
Hardly a coincidence. Why would these 3 men work together to falsely accuse your father?
Parce que Percy Hamley, il est mort empoisonné, je crois bien.
No
Dans le
one
livre 1
survived that
ou
night.
2.
No one lived to tell the story.
Et Prior James, il est mort dans l'incendie de la cathédrale.
As the sole survivor.
And then they killed him. But why?
Et le père de Jack était le seul encore en vie après le... après l'incident du bateau. On l'a tué peu de temps après, on l'a accusé de vol.
Now, what about Prior James?
Donc en gros ils sont tous morts sauf Waleran.
So, what about...
Waleran was not yet bishop when the hanging took place. He was archdeacon. Philip told me.
But James still had to do what Waleran told him to?
I think that's very likely. How are Prior James and Percy Hamley connected?
Not at all, I would guess.
Except through Bishop Waleran.
Yes. He needed James to arrest my father and Percy Hamley to hang him.
Now both of them are dead. That can't be a coincidence. Waleran was James's superior. If only James... He regretted what he did. Maybe he would have helped us to save Philip.
In a way, he is helping us. Without him, we would not have found the chalice. James was the prior of Kingsbridge.
That's where they say your father stole the chalice, melted it and sold it.
But we know that's not true.
As we found it, Philip recognized the chalice.
But Bishop Henry wants a witness. The chalice isn't enough.
But it's an important lead for us.
James claimed that your father had stolen the chalice and sold it. But instead, James himself hid it in Kingsbridge, in the crypt.
We found his scourge in a bed down there.
That secret chamber is important. Everyone thought Prior James was dead, that he broke into the ice. And now we know he was hidden away.
Why did his monks believe he was dead?
Sub-Prior Remigius told everyone he had found James Rosebery by the
Remigius
river.
alors, c'est peut-être lui.
So everyone thought the body had been washed away. They buried an empty casket.
But how is Remigius involved?
Philip told me that Remigius was there when Waleran made Philip prior. Waleran and Remigius knew each other.
That explains why Waleran later made Remigius prior of Shiring.
And Remigius recognized my mother when we arrived in Kingsbridge. He must have been there at the time my father was arrested. I think Remigius knows all about this.
Is it possible that Waleran told Remigius to make Prior James disappear when James began to talk about what they'd done?
When James started talking to the devil.
But for some reason, Remigius hid him away. But Waleran never knew. Yes, that explains why he really didn't believe you. When you said you had seen James in the fire.
Where James died after all. And Remigius thought no one knew.
We have to find Remigius. He's our witness.
Let's hurry. It's getting dark already.
Ouais, mais comme il est contre nous.
The trial will continue soon.
People know you two. You shouldn't walk around shiring like that.
He's right.
I'll go look for him.
All right. Take care of yourself. And Jonathan.
Yes?
We will talk later about what was said today. About Tom.
Bien sûr, j'y pensais.
All right. Remigius. Now where are you?
Une petite sauvegarde. Allez, ici. Je commence à être KO. Je suis parti bientôt à la fin.
Brothers?
What is it?
Just.
We have not. Step back, brother. We must be done by nightfall. No one may approach.
Why not?
Bishop Henry's order.
All right. Hello? Seen Father Remigius. For shiring.
He was a moment ago.
What do you want with him? Yeah, what do you want with...
Oh, forget it. He was here.
Do you want to...
No, not yet.
Are you not Prior Philip?
Yes, I am.
I pray set him free.
Man.
He is dead!
You're... Look at yourself! Who are you to judge and never hurt anyone?
Give them, Father.
Don't judge him, but no!
Remigius? I don't think he's here. Wait, was that him?
J'espère qu'il va rien lui arriver à Jonathan.
Have you seen a priest walk through?
Sorry.
All right.
Hey.
Alfred. Il a un gosse?
Yes?
You're Jonathan, right?
Yes, I am. And who are you?
Never mind, but there's something you should know. Tom Builder. He left you behind because your mother died. He had no way to feed you. He thought he had no other choice.
How do you know all this?
He went looking for you an hour
Je suis ton
later,
frère,
but
mec.
you were gone. And when he finally found you in Kingsbridge, he was there for you ever since. But he thought he'd lost the right to be your father.
Just who are you?
Just remember what I said. I pray they won't burn Philip. He's a good man,
Can we go home, Daddy?
Yes. Let's go home.
Ça, c'est toujours bon. On va mettre ça en plus. Hein. Tac. Voilà, petite save.
Hello? The door's open. Is anyone there?
J'espère qu'il va rien lui arriver.
You had one task.
By God! No!
Our bishop is very...
Timothy, c'est le mec qui bosse pour Walran, son serviteur.
displeased. No! What are you doing? I'm doing what is asked of me. Stop it! No! Stay away! This does not concern you! No! Who told you to do this? No one!
Comment il est tombé? Comment il est tombé? Il est pas doué?
Why did he do this to you?
I will tell you. I will tell everyone.
Ah, il va enfin se confesser.
Do you have a witness?
Father Remigius, Prior of Shiring.
Where is Timothy?
What they told you is true. Bishop Waleran wanted the jongleur Jacques Cherbourg dead. He ordered our Prior James to frame him. And so he did.
This is a lie!
Is it?
James lost his mind because of what he did for you. He was about to tell everyone the truth. And then you ordered me to kill him.
Nonsense.
Let him speak.
I couldn't do it.
Purée, l'histoire elle est géniale.
I hit him, but he died in the fire. Jack saw him. It was him. I found the bones after the fire, and I buried them.
You should put an end to this, Henry. You really should.
Why would I?
You should stop this, for your own sake. You knew about all this.
Why would I care if that jongleur lived or died?
Your brother cared. The jongleur survived the sinking of the White Ship. He saw how your brother's men killed the king's family so that he could take the throne.
This is preposterous.
Bishop Henry and King Stephen ordered us to kill the man. You want the truth? That's the truth. Right there.
It is not. Waleran is alive.
Elle est venue. Eh ben. Heureusement que j'ai laissé en vie.
Regan Hamley.
Purée, les rebondissements. C'est chaud.
I have waited long enough for this day. It is time I raise my voice. The woman, Ellen, she spoke the truth. 3 men were responsible for the death of the Jongleur. James, the Prior of Kingsbridge. The Sheriff, my husband, Percy Hamley. But it was Waileron who was behind it. And only Waileron.
No!
He had heard rumors about the White Ship, about our king. He had hoped to win the king's favor by hanging an innocent man.
But it was not just me. They all knew.
Take him away.
Wow, wow.
This is for taking my husband's life.
It was Waileron!
Oh, we did it. It's over.
Yes, it's over.
Thank you, Lady Hamley.
This monk must learn his lesson.
The Pope would agree.
Et Philippe,
This
du coup,
trial is not over. Philip pleaded not guilty, but he challenged the teachings and the authority of the Church. The ordeal of
ça, le truc.
fire will take place. To show that the Church is not above God. To show that my brother, the King of the English, is not above God. Not we, but God shall judge this man.
This is madness!
No, they can't do this.
Philip!
est-ce que si j'aurais plaidé coupable,
No.
ils auraient fait ça ou pas?
You cannot do this!
This is now a matter of the Church, Lady Aliena. My brother, the king, and I accepted the traitor
Oh
Waileron into
putain,
our
non,
midst.
non, non,
We are
non,
fools
pas
and
Philippe, non.
sinners, even if we did not know. I pray that our Lord will save Philip from these flames. For his salvation shall be a salvation for all of us sinners.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Light the pyre!
We've got them. There must be something we can do.
Stop this madness!
Aïe 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 aïe, non, Philippe. Ah. J'aurais dû dire que j'étais que j'ai fait de l'hérésie, quoi, un truc dans le genre, quoi, ouais. Ah merde, parce que du coup il aurait pu rester en vie, je pense. Peut-être qu'il l'aurait jugé autrement, qu'il aurait pas fait cette épreuve là. Et du coup il est mort. Merde. Philippe, quoi, non. Depuis le début c'est un des personnages principaux. Ah. Bon, du coup, briefing. Évêque Walram a dû faire face à la justice. Bien. Philippe n'a pas reconnu son hérésie. Pas bien. Aussi, elle avait le nom de père de Jack. Bien. Enfin. Mais bon, il est quand même mort. Alena a su pardonner à Philippe d'avoir causé la chute de sa famille. Ça, c'est bien. Jonathan a enfin appris qui étaient ses parents. C'est bien. Philippe a été condamné à être brûlé vivant. C'est pas bien. Conséquence de mon choix au début de chapitre. En plus, j'ai sauvegardé juste après, je crois. C'est chaud. Et c'est parti pour le tout dernier chapitre de Pillar of the Earth. L'épilogue, je pense. Bingo. J'espère que c'est pas trop long parce que j'ai vraiment envie de dormir. Je suis KO. J'ai une grosse journée, demain je bosse en plus. Ah, c'est lent. C'est très lent. Plus vite, je peux même pas courir. Je contrôle qui là, je sais même pas. La cathédrale est finie, on dirait. Mais c'est Philippe. Mais c'est Philippe, il est encore en vie. Wouhou. Il est encore en vie, Philou. C'est trop bien. Ah, je suis content. Ça ne tombe pas dans ma voix parce que je suis fatigué. Je suis super content. Après plus de ouais, une bonne quinzaine d'heures de jeu, même plus que ça. Forcément, ça t'a chopé. On veut pas le voir mourir à la fin. On peut pas. C'est pas possible. Tiens, pas vite. Bon, normal, il est à... Du coup, ça s'est passé. Comment il est resté en vie? Comment il a pu échapper aux flammes? C'est chaud. Je veux savoir. Putain, en tout cas, c'est classe.
Ah, Philip.
It is so good to see you, Jonathan.
Ouais, c'est encore vieilli. Hein. Oula.
How are things at St. John in the Forest?
Francis is well.
That is wonderful.
Yes, he enjoys the life there. You look worried, Jonathan.
Well, you have a visitor. He just arrived.
Is that not a good thing, Jonathan? Who is it?
That is just it. I wasn't sure if you wanted to see him.
Du coup, la voix a encore changé, c'est génial. Walleran? Non. Si?
It has been a long time.
Ah, yes, it has. I had to know.
Know what?
The truth is, I never saw God or the devil. Have you?
Oh Lord, deliver us from evil. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Something we can do.
Ah, on va savoir.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Blind! Do you not know that a fire will burn any man, no matter who he is?
Why are you doing this?
After Wayland's words, there is doubt in their hearts about my motives, about my brothers. No words can erase that doubt, but God can. Our Lord is a cleansing fire.
He's still alive. It's a miracle. He is among us. God is here.
Pour le rire de psychopathe.
How is this possible?
It's all a matter of perspective.
We have to stop this!
No, Jack. Come.
My God.
No, but that's what they see. That's what they believe.
The water. It's dousing the flames. It's a trick.
To them, it's a miracle.
The justice of our church. I believe Philip understands that now. His book will be destroyed. If you or your friends ever mention the White Ship again, I promise you will take Prior Philip's place. And God will not be as forgiving.
Their faith in you and your church is restored. I say it was worth sparing that monk's life. Promise me that Waileran will suffer.
Philip?
Yes?
Did you see God? Did he save you that night?
I told
Je réponds ou pas du coup, moi je vois pas, si.
He only smiled at me. I never saw him again, as long as I lived.
Philip is back.
Philip!
Philip! We're glad you're back.
Did you walk all the way again?
Just part of it.
Il a grandi le fils de Jack, eh ben.
Ellen stayed in Kingsbridge, together with Tom. I thought I had lost God, that he did not watch over us. But now I see him every day. He is in the good we do, in how we show our love. Jack's hands had become rough, his hair grey, but his eyes still burned bright like hot coals.
It's good to see you.
Aliena's gaze could be as stern as her father's had been, but her heart and wit made her a leader people did not follow out of fear, but out of respect and loyalty.
Jonathan told us you had a visitor.
Just an old friend.
What do you think of this window?
Jonathan came to look more and more like his father, Tom. As Prior of Kingsbridge, he is also a builder of sorts.
I use mostly warm colours. What good are the large windows if it feels cold?
Sally is as stubborn and as gifted as her parents. It is her stained glass windows the light is falling through. She has children of her own now.
And I'd like to show you the plans for the new cloister.
Tommy will be the next master builder, and is as silent as his grandfather was. Once I heard him admonish his father to be more serious at work. Jack only smiled. He knew Tommy was right. Martha stayed in Kingsbridge as well. She was always there for every one of us.
Is the judge done now?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him yourself?
Is the judge done now?
It will never be done. Not in my lifetime. Not in yours.
Remember us for what we did, for who we were, and maybe for what we tried to be. And when you turn your eyes to our cathedral, maybe you will see yourself.
C'était génial. Oh purée, un kiff ce jeu, un kiff. Les 3 livres, c'était crescendo, ça commençait déjà très fort, ça continuait aussi bien, et là le livre 3, on a mis encore un cran au-dessus. Ce jeu est terrible en tout. En termes de design, en termes de graphisme, de bande son, de doublage, d'animation, de scénario, énorme. J'avais jamais lu les romans, j'avais jamais vu la série télé, ni les films, je crois qu'il y avait des films aussi. Ouf, complètement ouf. Ah ouais, je suis totalement conquis. Les personnages, comme on s'attache à eux, encore plus que dans un jeu Telltale. Largement plus. Énorme. Alors du coup, briefing de cette petite partie, la toute dernière. J'ai répondu à la question de Walran. Ouais, après ça change pas grand chose. Et j'ai terminé les piliers de la Terre. Enfin terminé. Depuis le mois d'août. Ça avait commencé au mois d'août pour la partie 1. La partie 2 sortie au mois de février. Et fin mars, la partie 3. Voilà, du coup, finish. Ploup. J'espère que ça vous a plu du coup. Moi en tout cas, j'ai surkiffé. C'était un gros coup de cœur. Terrible ce jeu. Donc certes il coûte cher, hein, 30-40 euros selon le support, mais franchement ça vaut le coup largement. Largement. En termes de boulot quand même, ce qui a été mis dedans, franchement, ça les vaut largement. C'était ouf. On voit vraiment les protagonistes vieillir, et qui changent du coup d'attitude quand même, ils deviennent plus matures et tout. C'est génial. Physiquement, on voit qu'ils changent, on voit qu'ils évoluent, que leurs visages deviennent plus ridés, qu'ils ont les cheveux un peu gris et tout. Leur voix change. Rarement dans un jeu vidéo tu fais un truc comme ça, quand même. C'est ouf, c'est complètement ouf. Je suis sur le cul. Je suis quand même triste d'avoir fini comme le jeu. Après, je sais pas si j'ai débloqué tous les succès de cette partie-là. Je vais le faire demain, je pense, il m'en reste. J'espère qu'il m'en reste pas quand même. J'ai quand même la flemme de recommencer la partie, ouais. Ouais. Même si bon, ça prend 2-3 heures en speedrun en zappant les textes. Mais bon, j'ai la flemme. En tout cas, c'était du lourd. Donc j'espère que ça vous a plu, en tout cas, voilà, donc c'est la fin de mon stream. Je vais quand même laisser les crédits jusqu'au bout, hein, pour le... Voilà. Au cas où, on sait jamais. J'espère que ça vous a plu, en tout cas, n'hésitez pas en tout cas à liker la vidéo, me follow. Voilà, ça fait toujours plaisir. Puis je vous dis à très vite pour un prochain stream sur un mauvais jeu par contre, un très mauvais jeu. L'un des pires que j'ai joué en 20 ans de gaming. Voilà. Donc sur ce en tout cas, je vous laisse. Passez en tout cas une bonne soirée, amusez-vous bien, à très vite pour une prochaine vidéo. Et en tout cas, merci d'avoir regardé. Voilà, sur ce, moi je vous laisse. Ciao. Voilà, ça y est, finish. Vous restez jusqu'au bout? Eh ben bon courage en tout cas, vous avez vraiment, ouais, beaucoup de courage, voilà. Bon bah sur ce, moi je vais aller me pioter. Je vous dis en tout cas bonne soirée. Merci d'avoir regardé jusqu'au bout de la vidéo. N'hésitez pas en tout cas à liker, follow comme d'habitude, ça fait toujours plaisir en tout cas. Et je vous dis donc à très bientôt pour une prochaine vidéo. Passez une bonne journée, bonne soirée où que vous soyez. Et je vous dis en tout cas donc à très vite. Voilà, on ne se quitte pas très longtemps, vous inquiétez pas. Allez, ciao, amusez-vous bien.